Hello everyone, and today I'm going to tell you how you can travel cheap in Barcelona. So to understand how to travel cheap in Barcelona, I wrote down all my costs here, what I did in Barcelona, how much I spent every day, and we will start with the total costs. So in total, I paid for 5 days in Barcelona 479 euros for 5 days. So that's around just below 100 euro per day. But those costs include my flight costs, which was 90 euros to get from London to Spain. So if you deduct that, you'll end up on around a little bit below 80 euros per day. And those costs consist of an accommodation of 308 euros for 5 nights, very nice Airbnb, a little bit outside the city center. And that's for 5 nights, 2 people, and we paid 310 euros. So that's around 155 euros per person. You could make this even cheaper if you want. If you're traveling alone as a budget traveler, you could decide to sleep in a hostel, and then, well, this is around 30 euros a night. You could bring this down for around 15 euros if you search very carefully. And then we come to our transport costs. In total for 5 days we paid 46 euros per person for the total transport cost. But the most expensive part was a private taxi in the night from the airport back to our accommodation. We paid 40 euros, so that's 20 euros per person, to get from the airport to our accommodation. We could have taken a night bus, which would bring the cost down to around 4 euros per person, so a significant decrease if you want to save on costs. But the problem is, it took us 20 minutes with the taxi, and it took us almost 2 hours to reach our accommodation by public transport, and that would have meant that we would have reached the place around 4 o'clock in the morning rather than 1 o'clock at night. And also, our Airbnb host didn't want to let us in after that time. The standard cost that you pay is a 10 times metro, bus, well, or you can use transport card in Barcelona. This costs €10.20 per person. So that means that you €10.20 for a 10 time use. And in those 5 days that we were in Barcelona, we had to buy those 2 times, so that's like 20 times use of metro, tram, bus, whatever public transport you can think of. So that's €20.40 for that. And then there was an airport bus on the last day back to the airport where we took just the bus, and that was €5.90 one way. So that's the transport costs and what you could save on them. Then there's of course the food. In Barcelona, food isn't that expensive, but you can make it very expensive because Barcelona is known for a brilliant cuisine. Tapas, delicious. It's not even officially coming from Barcelona, but even there you can have delicious tapas, but tapas makes your food expensive. Breakfast, if you go to a bakery, €2 per person, you're fine. So for 5 days, €10, you're done. If you go to a market, touristy one, €10, you have a nice lunch. Cafe for lunch, around €8 for a decent meal. But then there's the expensive part, the tapas. If you want to have a nice lunch, dinner, and to want to experience some good tapas experience, this can vary between €20, €25 per person. I can imagine if your groups get bigger, then the cost will go down as well, because you want to try lots of different plates as well. You could have a cheaper dinner. For example, if you want to take some paella and want to have some nice drinks with it as well, you pay around 18 euros. And keep in mind that my costs are drinks based on having a soda, because I don't drink any alcohol personally. If you want, for example, some sangria with your dinner, then you pay an additional 6 euros. So that's kind of the price for sangria. A beer is around 4 euros in a restaurant. So that brings our total food price on 175 euros. But as I said, you can save some cost on this. If you would bring down the tapas, we went out for tapas 3 times. So if you would bring down those costs, then we'll switch to, for example, another lunch. Then the most shocking and most expensive part of my whole Barcelona trip were the attractions. Attractions in Barcelona aren't that cheap. The total cost for attractions, if you wouldn't apply any saving tricks what I did now, would have been for us 124 euros. However, we paid 103 euros with a little bit of a simple trick that you could apply when you are in Barcelona. If you show your receipt at the toilet is free. So let's say you want to visit most of the important Gaudi places that we visited. So the Casa Vicens, Sagrada Familia, Park Güell, Casa Mia and Casa Bayo. Those are 5 places in Barcelona about Gaudi. That means Casa Vicens is normally 16 euros per person to enter this place. However, if you visit this place on the last Sunday of the month, you can get this place for 10 euros. Sagrada Familia is normally between 17 and 36 euros. You can't save that much on this one. It really depends what kind of tour, what kind of visit you want. Without any audio guide, for example, you will pay 17 euros. But if you want to have an audio guide with it, you pay 25 euros. I would recommend to at least take the audio guide, which is 25. If you want to visit the towers as well, you end up around. The only tip I can give you, if you are below 30 years old, then there's a discount that you can apply on your checkout, which brings the cost down from 25 euros to 22 euros on the entrance with an audio guide. Then you have Park Güell. You can't save anything with that. You apply online, you get your ticket. It's 13 euros entry fee, no matter when you visit it. However, the only thing that I could tell you, if you are not that interested in the park to visit it during daytime, if you visit it after closing time or before openings time, you can visit this park for free. They remove the barricade where they put in front of the park, and then the monumental area is free to visit. To be fair, Park Güell, the whole park, is free to visit. Only the monumental area, which is 5% of the whole park, that part is paid, because that's the place where you will see the decoration and the creations of Gaudi and Güell. And then there's Casa Mia and Casa Bayo. Both of those places, really book your tickets in advance online. You can even do it while you're standing in front of the door. Just go online, apply for it and book it there. Because, for example, Casa Mia is 25 euros at the door, but it's 22 euros when you pay online. Same with Casa Bayo, it's 29 euros at the door and 25 euros when you pay online. And those prices are for the basic ticket, so no VIP upgrades and whatever, because we're trying here to get the Barcelona experience as cheap as possible. And then you have Hospital La Pau, which is 14 euros, but if you are below 30 here as well, you get a discount on top of that as well, it's 10 euro 50. And another thing we visited is the Labyrinth. The Labyrinth would be normally 2 euros something to get inside. However, if you visit it on a Wednesday or a Sunday, what we did, then it's free to enter the place. So another trick to save you a little bit of money. So in total, this brought us to 104 euros for all the attractions. And I must admit that is quite expensive if you see that for all the Gaudi stuff. Let's say Casa Mia, Casa Bayo, both places you visit, you can do it in the morning. You visit both of those together cost you already almost 50 euros. So if you want to save some extra money, only visit one. And please check out my videos, check for yourself which one is the prettiest, because they are completely different. Casa Bayo is a renovated house from Gaudi. Casa Mila is a completely constructed and designed house by Gaudi. Yeah, please check out the videos I did before, and all those attractions, what you want to visit and where you could save some extra money. So all in all, Barcelona isn't an expensive place. If you see 78 euros, including accommodation, food, attractions, over 5 days to visit Barcelona isn't expensive. You could bring those costs down if you want. There are loads of stuff in Barcelona to do, which is free. There are nice markets to visit. There are like churches which are beautiful that you can visit. Of course, Barcelona Cathedral you have to pay, but some other cathedrals that we visited were just completely free to visit. So that's another way to go for the cheap way. And of course, the longer you stay in a place, the cheaper it gets by day, because if you want to visit some of those places in one day altogether, it increases your cost per day, of course. So I hope this helps you to plan your trip in Barcelona in the cheapest way that you can imagine. And if you want to know more about Barcelona, don't forget to check out my 60 things to do in Barcelona video, where I tell about all the attractions and stuff we have visited in Barcelona. And as always, if you like this type of video, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I hope to see you in the next video.